Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I got the Mustang up on blocks. I got a problem. Do you remember that noise I was telling you about? Whatever it was is something broke. So now when I get the motor running, which it still starts up great, I stick it in drive, no bueno. If I stick it in reverse, also no bueno. I suspect a bad torque converter. I did some other troubleshooting, couldn't get rid of the noise, and I'm hoping, well, I don't even know what the hope is, because the torque converter I got was the only one I had could find at the time. I did find what I can do with this one, so I'm gonna have to take it out again and see if that's causing the noise. Also, there's a few things I found here I'm gonna do some deletions on, so let me show you. This particular car has AC unit, but you probably can't see it. Yeah, it's clear down in there. Right there. That. Let's see if I get my finger in here and point at it. There we go. That right there is a hole in my air compressor, or my AC compressor. So kind of save some cost. I'm just going to do a deletion on this air compressor. I'm going to pull it out and get rid of it. What it should do is just require some different style belts. So I've got new belts we'll be putting on to do the deletion on the air compressor. Other than that, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do here. If I'm just going to tape them off or what, I have not decided. So what the plan is, remove that air compressor, pull the transmission out again. May do some exhaust work. I do have an exhaust leak. What I think I'm going to do is just delete on a few things. But let's start there. I'm going to start working on the transmission. so far so good. Easily the hardest part so far has been disconnecting the transmission cooling lines. There's just not a lot of room in there. Muffler came out. Well, it didn't come out because anyways, it came undone. Drive line is easy breezy. Hardest part is those lines. So I got everything supported now, and I need to take out the starter, undo the bell housing bolts, and then I gotta undo the flex plate, unbolt it from the torque converter. I'll probably do that before I do the bell housing bolts, but I need to take a break. I'm starving. My legs are cramping up because I'm sweating so bad out here, so I just need to go get some liquids and get something to eat. I'll be back at it in a little bit. All right, I'm back at it. I'm gonna start by getting the starter motor off. I'm gonna go from there. Just gotta get progress on getting this transmission out. back out in the garage. The torque converter is off. It is at the shop, hopefully getting fixed today, tomorrow, hopefully soon. But in the meantime, I've got to pull off the air compressor belts for the air conditioning system because it's completely shot. Doesn't work. I was going to replace it, or I was going to charge it, but it's got a crack in it. I don't think charging would do any good. So I'm going to take that off. We're going to simplify kind of the front end of our system here. I bought new belts. Looking at it, I am going to have to loosen up the power steering, and I should probably buy a new belt for that because the one on there, I can see some frays on it. So anyways, let's get this air compressor or air conditioning compressor off the car, or at least start with the belts. I'm guessing at some point the belts that were off the crank, the alternator, and the air compressor were replaced, but I'm yanking them because I need smaller belts because I'm taking the AC compressor off. So now that I got the belts off, which was pretty simple, I just got to figure out how to pull off the air compressor. I'm gonna need some caps. Hopefully I can figure out what size I need there, and let's get at it. So it's gonna approach 100 degrees today, and some of you are probably asking, why aren't you putting in a new air compressor and just fix the AC unit? Well, it comes down really to one thing. Cha-ching! It's expensive. Actually, I haven't even priced out the compressor, but I'm sure for this old Mustang, it's not cheap. So at this point, I'm just gonna pull it off. The car is gonna be driven mostly by my son. He'll be 16 here shortly. I know, letting a 16-year-old drive a classic. I know, don't tell me about it. Blip your comments down below and let me know how you feel. I don't feel great about it, but he's gonna do it. We bought it for him. Anyways, I grew up with a car that the AC didn't work in. I rolled down the windows, and that's how I had what my dad called the 265 air conditioning. 2 windows down, 65 miles an hour. So that's the plan. Let's keep working and getting this compressor out. compressor is out. You can see it was right here and now it's gone. Let's take a look at this guy. Here's the first hole I saw right here. This is on the passenger side of the vehicle. And I bring it over here, driver's side vehicle. So whatever is inside this compressor completely blew up. And so that is complete junk. So I am going to keep all the hoses. I'm going to keep all the brackets. I'm leaving the one in there because the alternator connects to it. So I have to leave that. I'll probably take the bracket off, the one that went with it, and just bolt it back on so that it's there and I don't use it. Because who knows, maybe in the future I'll put AC on it. Right now I don't really have a plan other than I'm going to replace the belts. AC is going away. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll add AC or I'll swap to a Coyote motor or a 302. But that's a lot of work and I don't have the money for that right now. So that's it for now. I can start putting some belts on. I do need to go order a power steering belt because that one was almost shot. And then I can put all the belts back on. But so far so good. Still waiting on the torque converter rebuild. All right, with the air compressor motor for the AC out, I can now put on the new belts. I've got 2 new belts that should fit the motor with eliminating the air compressor for the air conditioning. And I got a new belt for the power steering. That one was a little beat up and I figured I got everything out of the way, I may as well replace it. So let's get at it and let's get those in and ready to go while I'm still waiting for the torque converter to be repaired. Okay, I got the new belts on for the alternator and fan. I accidentally ordered 2 of the power steering. They're both short. I do have the original that has a part number on it, which does not match what I got the ones at the auto shop or parts store. So I'm gonna go see if I can get the exact same one and we'll get back at it. All right, I got the new torque converter back. Sure enough, the guys who rebuilt it said that it was completely blown up inside. So I think when I had got it, it was either bad or whoever rebuilt it did it wrong and messed it up. So hopefully with a little luck, these guys got it right, spot on. So let's get this back in the car and get rolling again. See, they painted it up a nice looking blue that nobody will ever see because it's hidden. A few dings here. I think it'll be okay. Let's do this. All right, I finally have everything wrapped up. I got the new torque converter in and it's ready to be taken off the blocks. But before I take it off the blocks, let's fire it up, make sure my noise is gone and we're good to go. Okay, this is sweet. No more noise. Torque converter sounds great. Motor fires right back up. Super stoked. I did run into issues. These torque converters are getting hard to find. The first one I had was not good. I took it in to a different place here locally. Shout out to Tip Top Transmission in Salt Lake. They were able to hook me up. So they gave me the first one back. I brought it back. It wouldn't seat. It had a wrong teeth pattern for the gear, so I took it back. They got the right one in. He told me he couldn't rebuild the original one I took in because the whole thing was blown up. So he had to source me a new one. He did find two. First one he ordered had the wrong gear pattern, so he brought the other one in, and it works great. Well, at least I can hear it. Doesn't make noise. We'll get it on the road here in a second. So these are getting hard to find. Hopefully I don't have any more issues and I'm good to go for the remainder of the time I'm alive and driving the car around. But if I do, I may have to swap, do an engine swap and go with a manual transmission at that time. But so far so good on this one. Let's get it off the blocks. Let's head out on the road and make sure we're good to go. I love driving this car around. It's, you know, it's only got the inline six, so it's not going to win any races, but just the nostalgia of driving an old American made car. It's got its quirks. It's got this nasty headliner and it doesn't rip the tires, but it just sounds so good. This inline six is a solid motor, and I mean, I could just drive around in this all day. It gets better gas mileage than a V8, and this car is needs a paint job bad, but it's just so fun. It just works. I could fix anything on this car, and you could fix anything on an older car like this. It doesn't have all the computers and the diddly bops and bibbly boops. You know, it's just a car. It's a motor, and it spins wheels, and you just go. So right now I'm just driving it around. The torque converter, it's torquing, and the car sounds great. It has some vibrations. You know, drive by people, I get some head turns, and they're probably like, man, paint that old jalopy. But it's all good. I have no issues driving this thing around. And I have plans. There's other things I want to do. But it's so fun driving these old cars around. I'm curious to see how much better it does on gas mileage, having torn out the air compressor, or the air conditioning compressor. I did look, and they are not cheap. I mean, you're looking at anywhere from basically $250 up to $400 for a new compressor, just like the one I got out. That's not crazy, but it's also $300-400 I don't have right now that I don't want to spend. So get driving around with my windows down, get some wind in my hair, and just have fun. But you guys can do this. Get out, get an old car. You don't have to get one that's super beat up, needs a whole bunch of body work. Just get one that you can learn, tinker on. Buy a cheap one out there. I mean, it'll be beat up, but who cares? It'll get you from A to B, and you know, they're just fun to work on. It was a lot of work getting this, pulling the transmission out, finding a place to replace my torque converter that went kapooey. But they were great to work with. Asked them questions. They filled me in on some things I needed to know. I do need to get this home and check the transmission fluid, make sure I'm good. You're supposed to check it when you're in park and it's warm, so I'm warming it up a little bit. We'll go home, put it in the garage where it's level, get it in park, and then we'll check the oil again, the ATF. I think it's fine. I put in 7 quarts, and this will take 5 to 7, so I think I'm going to be good, but you got to check it. What I don't want to do is run low on oil and blow out the new torque converter I just spent $300 on. So I'm just I took a few back roads, and now I'm on one that's not quite a back road, so I could get my speed up and just see how this torque converter helps my automatic transmission shift. And it's running great. And this car, right now, well, I've probably got 60,000 miles on it, and that's original miles in this car. When I bought it at 52,000, it was in great shape other than the body and the paint. I mean, the guy I bought it from did some body work, but it just needs a paint job bad. And that nasty headliner, I do have a plan. I'll feature that in one of my next videos. And I think what I'm going to do is just going to be easy fix, and it'll turn out nice. I'm pretty sure. At least in my head, it looks really nice. So on the homeward stretch now, we're going to do a final check on the transmission fluid, but torque converter is torquing perfectly, and yeah, got a nice little car to drive around on Sundays. Oh, there, it just shifted. Gonna shift again. About 3,000 RPM. Yeah, so it's brakes, even my brakes work still. I love this car. It is fun. So get out there, have fun, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.